system. How do we begin to shift? And so what we're doing with the Why Us Transition Lab is we're really asking the question, what are the actions that need to be carried out on the ground? Because the actions are going to have to reverse the sorts of things that I've told you about. We need 1,800 farms today to stop using chemical fertilizer and pesticide today. But you know, only 2% of Welsh farmers are organic. How do we get 1,800 of the 10,000 farms to shift today? And we need the other 8,000 to shift as well into different forms of agriculture. How do we do that? Most of them tell us they'd love to because they can see their soil, their wealth washing into the river because of their farming practices. They can't change because the system has got them tied to it. So we want to help them shift. So we want to identify the on-the-ground actions that need to happen. And we're bringing together people from right across the catchments to enable that to happen. But we're also inviting financial institutions to get involved because we want to see large-scale finance brought in. I was at COP26. This was not not this COP, but the one before in Glasgow. And there were announcements galore from financial institutions. Basically, if you totted up all their commitments, it's 130 trillion that they're committing to solving climate problems. You know, a year in, we've seemed to have lost our focus on getting to zero carbon. Now they're saying they're keeping that in mind while making their investments. We're not at the 100 billion level. We're not even at the 100 million level in terms of the scale of the investments they can make. And yet, when you look at how these financial institutions operate, they don't get out of bed for less than 500 million. So if they're not operating at the 500 million level, but they're not even at the 100 million level, they're just messing around. They're not serious about what they're doing. We want to walk them through the journey of understanding what is the scale of the transformation that needs to happen on the Why and Ask. And by the way, it's the exact generic problem that we face across all the landscapes. So we are running transition labs in Scotland, and we've just been invited into a transition lab across the fens in the east of England. And we've been invited to consider transition labs in Kenya and India. And so the challenge we face is exactly the same. How do we get large-scale funding? I love the fact that impact investors are in play. I've been an impact investor for 20 years. I love that. We're never going to change the system at that level of funding. We have to get the very, very large-scale funders in. And they're going to be passive investors. So we need the people who understand what needs to happen on the ground, but we need to get that in. So we're going to help walk them through that journey.